thought it was going to be just a dumb little show with my friends. And it was still a dumb little show with my friends.
Boy, what you looking at my ass for?
But it was so much more than that.
In 2019, after my husband Alex passed away, his bandmates and I didn't really know what to do with this space. So when we got married and we were looking for a place to live, normally it's the wife that looks for the house. And in our case, it was quite opposite. He needed a house that had a good sound. He needed a house that had a musical soul. And we searched for about a year. I gave up. And then one day he gave me a call and said, listen, I'm in this basement and this is where I want to make music. So when he passed, for a long time, we didn't know what to do with the instruments because he left 24 guitars. And his bandmate said, well, why don't you, turn your collection into a museum? And we realized that in order for a museum to live, you need to have people to come here, right? And we started thinking, well, what would bring people here? And then the idea was born that we will turn the basement into a house music space. And the whole idea was to fill the space with energy and friendships and love and music, and everyone was always welcome. When you guys scheduled your performance, I was technically, hey, I'm just going to give them the space, I'm going to show them around, I'm going to turn the lights on, and I'm just going to go mind my own business. And I'm really not interested right now in being a part of a youth party. And then I think when you came to me with your PRS, my first reaction why are you in my case? And then I realized that it's actually not my instrument because they're not exactly the same. And it was it was a coincidence, but I think it's when you started playing. That's when it wasn't just a coincidence. I felt like it was a serendipity. It was almost a symbol of a cycle of life, because when he was just exploring music, you probably weren't even born. And when he found his purpose as a musician, you were probably a young man, maybe a baby. And now that you are becoming, you are on your path of becoming a mature musician and seeking your purpose, he's no longer here, but we have his memory and by coincidence, an instrument that looks the same. It's not really the object that makes the magic. It's the fact that music is a generational thing, right? You learned from teachers. You were inspired by experienced musicians. So was he, right? He spent his entire youth and childhood listening to Deep Purple and Beatles and all that, right? So music is endless. It has no age, and it feeds people of all generations. And so I think, again, the fact that you both chose the same instrument, it's a fun coincidence, but I think the fact that you were here in my house with your friends and you guys did such a phenomenal job interpreting the same music. You were even playing the same songs, right? So I had to text and call my friends and I said, I feel like he's here, right? And it's 5 years out, the grief is lighter and I can laugh about it and, I can imagine it's less sad and it's more joyful to know that, all those hours of endless practice and finding that perfect sound, are now translating into a new generation of young people who are even more talented and have even better future than he did.